I'm Taylor Oracle, and this is a review of Hellenistic Astrology by Brennan. So this is sort of Roman astrology. So ye old astrology, used for hundreds of years, and this is quite the tome of thickness, clocking in at 700 pages. And out of the 700 pages, it's not really that intimidating. The whole back section is conclusion and bibliography references, and the first section is history. So for meat-wise, you're looking at about 400-ish pages, so it's not really too bad. So what is it? Well, it mixes natal astrology, in other words, let me tell you about you as a person, and predictive astrology, let me tell you what's coming, in a nice way. And I think one of the things that attracted me the most to this was the zodiacal releasing, which gives your client a calendar of major events coming in their life. So it's very, very interesting, also moderately complex, but programs will generate this for you, as you can see on the screen. So this has multiple layers. One layer is these points in your life are going to be important in a good way, maybe a bad way, and as well as you focus on these topics in the general vicinity of these dates. And I like that we can hand out a calendar with dates, and it's simple. Like, I don't have to go through transits, write down a summary while the person's waiting. I can just sort of jot notes on this calendar after I print it or export it or whatever. So it's a very nice way to do that. And it's also go big or go home, right? Because at a certain level, you're telling them in these few weeks period, you need to focus on this, or this is going to be important, that's going to be important, etc., and to watch out for things. Now, it also has an interesting, another layer to it. I said this is multi-layered, where you'll have peaks and valleys, kind of. So you have a ramp up, and then a peak, and then a ramp down on certain periods in their life. And you could have this within a huge 10-year period, and then you can sort of zoom in and get a few weeks at a time or a month at a time period. So it's very specific. Again, go home, go big or go home, which is, I like that, that's my style. And you get to give this to the client, they get to leave with this information. So again, multi-layered. I'm barely scratching the surface of that technique. So that technique is amazing. It covers, I believe, quite a few pages at the end here. And the next method you have is a yearly summary. So this year you need to focus on yourself, or this year you need to focus on home matters, career, what have you. And within that year summary, you can also drill down again by looking at transits and say, all right, we have a transiting Saturn, well, probably bad example how slow that moves. We have a transiting Mercury. There we go. We have a transiting Mercury coming in, and it may be a problem here, and on this date you're going to have an issue with it. So again, go big or go home. I like that. It's sort of like the casino gambler you see in the movies. He gets all of his chips and just shoves them into the middle of the table and says, I'm all in. So again, I like that. I think it's very specific, and I like that not only can the client take a list of dates, but they can also take a bunch of different things home. So I've created a worksheet. This is just my design of a worksheet that Brennan shows. And this is easy for a client to take home. It covers all the major areas. It allows me to take notes about the yearly summary. It allows me to take notes about the zodiacal releasing, etc., and to isolate the different peaks, etc. So it's something nice, one sheet of paper that the client can take home with them and sort of reference forever, right? I mean, later they can go 20 years from now, 10 years from now, they can go online and get this sheet of paper and sort of see the trends at that time as well, or better yet, they can call you and give you more money, etc. But I think this is nicely geared for, in my opinion, nicely geared for psychic fairs or holistic expos, where I have a 20-30 minute period to get everything that I can out to the customer, and I can do it in a very organized, sequential way. I'm not staring at transits and rattling off random information over here, rattling off information about natal stuff. I can give them a whole and holistic view of chapters within their life. And I think that's critical for a customer, because obviously if half the stuff comes true, I mean, they're going to get on the phone and call their relatives and friends, family, etc., and drag them up there to see you, right? So obviously this is fairly complex, again, clocking in at 700 pages. However, he presents it in bite-size format. So in other words, you'll get a chapter on a chapter on the Time Lord of the Hour. You'll get a chapter, the Lord of the Hour, yeah. You'll get a chapter on professions. You get a chapter on zodiacal releasing. You get a chapter on this and that and this and that. So who is this designed for? I would say an intermediate with your basics, maybe a bit above intermediate with your basics, right? So, I mean, I almost have so many notes from this thing. Let me go back in my notes and find what I want. You're going to need to know, let's say, domicile, exalted, detriment, fall of the different planets. You're going to need to know the different planets and the different signs, things like this. So it does do old school, obviously it's old school Roman. It does do old school things like, day versus night charts and things like this. But I'm going to teach you in my easy astrology lessons an easy way to memorize this and an easy way to memorize this. So it's going to be a little bit easier to sort of sneak into this once you have some memory techniques to memorize most of that stuff. So I'm going to help you out with that so you can approach this. So finally, how much does it cost? I know you're looking at this 700-page volume and you're going to not believe me, but I'm serious. You can get the ebook from Google Books for $12. So if you're an ebook junkie, you just want to check this out, you don't want to put a big investment in, $12 is I would say not only good but fantastic for a 700-page book. So now be aware, if you buy the ebook on Google Books, that is Adobe protected. So Kindle, no, not so much, but Nook or Kobo or something else, or you can just read it on your iPad, or phone, come on. So if you're thinking about doing it to your Kindle, nah, not so much for the Adobe editions, but elsewhere. So if you want to buy the physical edition, which obviously I got because you can see I'm a highlight junkie. So I'm a highlight junkie and I'm a page marking junkie. That's just me, man. So you can let me move all this crap. So you can actually, this is only half my highlighters, which is kind of sad. All right. Yeah. So you can see in here. As well, if you want the physical book, so you can highlight, and obviously a physical book is going to be a little better for flipping around the charts, right? So if you have a chart on this page on the ebook, and if he references this chart over here, you're going to have to go page, just look at the chart, then you're going to have to go page to get back to here. So, if you're that kind of reader, this only costs $35, and that was worth my money. That's worth my $35 because again, I'm a highlight junkie. I'm a page marking junkie. So I'm sort of that type of learner. So he does teach the houses. He does teach planets, but for the most part, you're really going to need to have memorized this by the time you sneak into here. So overall, as well as this is very textbook prose. So you look at other books, some of the books that I literally can't put down, like let's say Predictive Astrology or Linda Goodman's Sun Sign. It's hard to put those down. It's such a fast read. It's just engaging and things like this. So this is very textbook. In other words, a lot of the pages will have some have information up here, and then obviously a lot of references on some of the pages. So you kind of got to factor that in, that it's going to be more of a textbook type prose, which is not bad. Chris Brennan is got to be one of the smartest astrology people on the planet, most likely. But it's very textbook and it's very thorough, and I like that a lot. But it's not going to be one that's going to be difficult to put down like this one. So anyway, Overall, I would give this a 10 out of 10. I mean, especially for if you just want to try it out, you only have to spend $12. I think that's such a massive selling point to this, in my opinion, that I'm really, really excited about this. As well as if you're into this and you get this and you want to, do the Hellenistic and you want my cheat sheet, just email me at the email in the description, and I'll send you the JPEG, and you can print it out if you want, or make your own. I'll send you the Photoshop file, whatever. So anyway, again, I'm excited to use this at psychic fairs. I think this will be a big hit, and definitely something that I'm excited about. I realize I'm excited about everything with tarot and astrology. So, take that as you may. But anyway, 10 out of 10. Chris Brennan, just a personal note, man. Your online, by the way, he has free stuff online, like a 4-hour lecture online. Not literally a lecture, it's a podcast. There's a 4-hour podcast explaining stuff like zodiacal releasing and things like that. And he has a lot of free stuff on his YouTube channel that you can look at. Yeah, man, just Chris, this amazing book, man. Amazing book. Love your online stuff as well. So 10 out of 10. Thank you for watching. If you like this review, please hit like and subscribe.